We've got a busy day here at the ranch, but I am going to go through my laundry room today, and I'm going to show you a really classic method of decluttering. So come along with me. Hi, welcome to the Peaceful Home and welcome to this decluttering challenge. I believe this is video 14 in the series. They can be watched in any order, and I've been tackling every area of my home with the goal of getting out 1,000 items in a 30-day period. One of the guidelines is to not take out more than you can go through and return and clean up in the amount of time that you have. I have a good chunk of time today, so I'm going to take everything out. I'm going to start with this entire cabinet, and I'm going to empty it all out onto my dining table and start sorting. Here's what the laundry room looks like now. It's a bit of a collecting spot. You know, things just kind of land here. It's kind of like a garage. The stuff that you don't quite know where to put ends up in these spaces, and they frequently need decluttering. Now, you don't always have time to remove everything, and it makes a mess. Check out the video below for no mess decluttering. Another benefit to removing is getting to clean everything out. I went through my laundry room about 6 months ago, so I'm feeling pretty good about it, like better than I ever have felt before. But I'm not that close to my 1,000 items, so I feel like this is where I could make a big dent and get rid of some things. It really is about layers, layer after layer after layer. It's very rare that someone can come in and just radically declutter from 100% to 20%. We usually have to go 90, then 80, then 70, and that's okay. It works. And part of it is the way we analyze and see things, and as time goes by and we realize I didn't miss that last 10%, I think I can do another. Two of the most important things you can do in any space is having containers for like-minded items and labels. If you do not label, then that space is up for grabs. It's open for anybody to move on in, and you don't want that. The great thing about containers, as the name says, is it's a contained space. There are limits. So if this is my container for batteries, I can only have as many batteries as fits in this container. That alone keeps us from having too much. But sometimes even within our container, we can have too much. The more you have, the more you have to manage. There's no way around that. Pop in and say hello to everyone. Oh, that's the espresso machine going. My daughter, Joanna. I mentioned the classic decluttering method, and that is removing everything from the space, whether that's one drawer or a cupboard or a room, but just what you can handle. Going through, touching each item, and then having 3 boxes. Donate, trash, and goes elsewhere in your home. Trash, chalk markers in all colors. Okay, this is probably a fantasy self thing. If you missed that video, you should check it out, because I'm going to make amazing chalkboard creations. No, not even once did I use these. I'm pretty much a white chalk kind of gal. So those can be donated. These are labels that I use all the time, and I do use them with white chalk, and they can be reused over and over. So as long as they fit in this bin, I can keep them. Just checking to see if there's anything that can go. Very old calligraphy pins. These are probably dried out. An eraser stick I've never used. These can all go. These are the chalk pens I do use. I've got little pieces of wood in here. I've never used them, but I have in the past made labels, like, cassettes. How old is this? Magazines, catalogs. These are from years and years ago, but I would make my own labels and tie them to baskets. So these I've kept because I can just paint over them to make new labels. I have chalkboard paint in here, but I also have some here, and I didn't realize this was here. Put that all together, and that takes care of the first bin. This is glue guns and glue sticks. I don't need to do anything with that. And these are my acrylic paints. And I use these often, and if they can fit in here, I can keep them. And I've really squeezed them in sometimes, but a lot of times when I bring in a new one, I can find an old one that's empty or dried out to get rid of. This is beeswax for a craft, and I actually have a spot up high. I just didn't take the time to put it up there. This is all of my paint and anything needed for refinishing furniture. So it's quite a bit. Like I said, I have gone through it recently, but it deserves another look. Various chalk paints. Now again, when you're using a container method, I'm less concerned about getting rid of stuff if it all fits. If it doesn't fit, then we've really got a problem. Here's a great tip for paint in your house. This is the gray that's in my bedroom, and rather than having to go out to the garage, get the tin, open it up for a touch-up, I just keep a little bit in a jar with an easy screw-off lid. This makes touch-ups a breeze. I don't know where my jar of brushes is. It's missing. I'll find that, but that's where these go.
As I go through each bin, I'm just looking for anything that can go. Is there any trash? Is there anything I'm not using? Anything that's expired? A spray can paint that's empty. I highly recommend a single sock basket for the whole family to know where an unmatched sock goes. Going through my rag bin was really important. It was overstuffed. It was so full, and I just needed to keep the rags that I use the most and really pare down. You just don't need that many. I went through each one of the drawers. In this case, with the tools, so many of these things actually belong in the garage. I basically keep one of everything in the laundry room so that it's easy to access. But a lot of times tools just end up getting dropped in there when they should have been returned to the garage. So this was great to sort through. I also was able to donate things that I know were doubles or even triples, or things I don't use anymore. I probably got rid of 2/3 of the tools that were in here, so that just makes it so much easier to find what I need. I also have a drawer for keys. That could be any random keys, duplicates, locks, keys that we don't know what they go to. This is also where I keep broken pieces or things that need to be fixed. And finally, I got to labeling, which is the last and very important step.
I got everything put away. I'll show you that in a little bit. I didn't get rid of as much as I thought, but I do feel like I tidied up a bit, and I was able to label some things that have not been labeled since the last clean out I did. And it has been an issue. Like, I go to look for just a little piece of sandpaper and really don't know where it is. So to get little things like that labeled is really helpful. I've got a few things that need to go out to the garage. All of our beach pool towels go in the garage for the winter, so I can put those away. I went through all the rags, and there was a cloth napkin in there and some regular towels that need to go in the kitchen. So I will put those away as well. I've got some greens from summer that need to get put away. I hang those up right above the door. And I do have some dried flowers that I think I'm ready to get rid of. I'll count this as 2 items. I love this Indian woven basket. It's been in my family for several generations. And although it's not so much my style, I would love to hang on to it. I'm getting ready to do something for the front porch on the Airbnb. We just built that this summer. So I think I might be able to use that over there. Some silver that needs to go to my sister. I need to mail that to her. That will go in Goes to Family. And this, my daughter was going to sell at Junk in Your Trunk. We're doing that at the end of the month. And I thought I wanted it, but I don't think I need it. It's going to go away. I love this basket. It needs a home. And this box I love. I was putting my remotes in it, and I was able to find a drawer for that. And then this is my twine, yarn, you know, miscellaneous ribbon. So this all can stay. I love having this little basket trash can right here for lint from the dryer. It's really handy. I found my brushes in the garage. This is where they belong. My daughter and I have been slowly collecting these large laundry baskets made of wicker, and we think they're so much prettier than the plastic ones. Although we will not get rid of these. I'll probably store them down underneath because they're so handy for transporting things. If you're going to a potluck or I'm taking stuff to an event, they're just really useful for that. I need to ask my daughter about this one. That's hers. It's a tray that we use quite a bit. I actually like to put the tray up here. These are all definite keep baskets. This is just a store of my favorites, and they get used a lot for various things. This is my new picnic basket, an absolute treasure. I need to find a spot for it. For now, I'll just put it aside. These two can go. Summer hats that need to go into the garage with the beach towels. Okay, I don't know if you guys do this, but this is stuff for a project. We put in our new laminate flooring. It's actually vinyl and completely waterproof, which we really needed here. And I'm supposed to go and finish off all the edges. And so I've had the caulking gun and all of the stuff that I need for this 4 months. It's probably been 6 months. So what I need to do is put this in the garage and write it on my to-do list, put it on my planner. Because what we tend to do is we put things out as reminders. And then what happens? Something else gets put on top of it as a reminder, and something else. And before you know it, it's 6 months later. This hasn't reminded me at all because it got buried. So I highly suggest that you have a running to-do list somewhere handy, on your phone, on your fridge, in your planner, and you can keep track of these things. And if you just glance over it once a week, you can ask yourself, is there a time slot this week when I could finish this project? This stuff that I decluttered from my desk when I did my desk decluttering. Part of the problem with this 30-day challenge is that I'm literally doing it in 30 days. And so for me to be able to film and edit and post and actually declutter my house and get stuff to the donate center, whoo, I'm tired. It's been a lot. So sometimes when I'm moving on to the next project, things get shoved over to the side. That is not the ultimate. Normally this stuff would go straight out to donate, but I had to do a quick pickup. So now I can take these things out. Now this is a basket of some of my thrift finds. Normally when I do a haul, I just show you everything I got, but occasionally I'm putting things aside for a special project. In this case, I have something for spring and a couple of gifts. And so I am saving those for my gift video, and this can just be put to the side. Because I just did this not too long ago, I don't know if there's been enough time for me to take off another layer. As I'm looking up here, I'm like, oh, I love all these things. Not that I'm necessarily going to use them, or have I used them, but I'm going to give it a try. This little lamp has an amber bulb in it that we put above the sink in the wintertime. It's time for that guy to come out. And I've had this little broom before by the fireplace. This year I thrifted this amazing brass dustpan. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'll be very happy to sweep up around the fireplace this year. So those will go out as well. As for the rest of this stuff, I love this jar, absolutely love it. But since I replaced it with the terracotta one, I haven't used it since. I'm gonna let that go. I ran into the bathroom really quick and just did a quick declutter in there. and I'm getting rid of a couple of things from the bathroom. 2 baskets, the tripod, these 2 boxes, I had a hard time letting go because I have several of them in my bookcase that have children's toys in them, and they're really great for that. So I was holding on to these in case someday I want to put something up there. But you know what? When the time comes, I'll go find a box. These can leave. I really like this bowl, but I don't love it, and it can go too.
I just wanted to go back and take a look at what the laundry room looked like when I started this morning. And I'm so glad I decluttered. I think it was totally worth it. And this is what it's looking like now.
I got rid of quite a few rags, and that is much more manageable. And I also put some extra labels and decluttered quite a few of these drawers, and it just makes it really easy to find things. That is my bag with my label maker and tape, and this is all of my craft stuff. Now, I didn't label these bins, but I know exactly what is in each one. This one has strippers, stains, waxes, and this is all paints, regular paint, chalk paint. This is where I hang up some of my stems, and I do love having this basket here. I can put damp rags in there and know that they won't get smelly before they get washed. My daughter has kids' toys and homeschool stuff over in this cabinet behind me, and the far right cabinet is hers. I forgot to show you what these look like. I decluttered so much last time that we really have a lot of space. And I did move one of my Lazy Susans in here, which is really nice. And I hang paintbrushes and keys on the door. Underneath the curtain are some kids' crafts and these mats that we use for gymnastics and obstacle courses, and I did tuck the plastic laundry baskets under there. It didn't feel like I was making much progress, but I actually got rid of 34 items. Woohoo! They are loaded up in a box, ready to go. And the stuff that needs to go out to the garage, I'm going to take there right now. And the only thing left is my basket of things for the gift thrift haul. So I think this was a successful project. I also got my labels done. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope that you will give this a try, whether in a laundry room, a garage, a bathroom. Grab your boxes and see what can go. The things in our homes that we really love actually contribute to our life, but the clutter doesn't. The clutter keeps getting shuffled around and it causes so much unnecessary stress. I'll link the playlist below for this decluttering challenge, and I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already. And if this video was helpful, would you please give it a thumbs up? I'd appreciate it so much. Thanks for joining me today on The Peaceful Home. Have an awesome day.